All right, Sisney. So what do you think the oldest person in the world said is key to living a long life? You have that story.
I do. And
Who's the oldest person you know?
The oldest person I know currently?
Oh.
Gosh.
Think about that. And don't say me.
That's rude.
This is crazy, but it might be somebody on Michael's side of the family, maybe.
Is anybody in the 90s?
I don't know. I'm like, it might be my dad.
My grandpa was in his 90s when he passed.
My dad's about to turn 80 at the end of the month. But I also think Michael's grandpa might be in his mid 80s. So Michael's grandpa probably.
Well, you start thinking about longevity.
Yeah.
And you start thinking about how long everybody can live with the advances in science and medicine. But the key is you want to live in a feeling good state.
Exactly.
For a long time. You don't want to be in pain for 30 years.
Yeah.
Don't keep me alive if I'm hurting.
I have this conversation with Michael all the time. And I'm just like, if I'm hurting and I'm in pain and I'm a vegetable,
kill
it's like,
me.
Please pull the plug.
Put me out of my misery.
Right. And he's always just like, I will never do that. I will keep you in.
This is not in the Sunshine Mind, Tanya. This is a different conversation.
Yeah, this is
a
dark.
bit darker.
I know it's dark. But this lady, her name is Maria Brañas Morea. She is 115 years old and is now the oldest known living person. She's actually born March 4th, 1907.
115 years old?
So she's about to turn 116 real soon. So I did a little digging on her, and she has never smoked. She's never drunk alcohol or dieted.
I'm out.
And attributes her health to good genes. But she recently told Guinness World Records that her keys to a long and healthy life, I guess, there's a list. She said, order, tranquility, good connection with family and friends. And I think that's important. I think that if you become lonely, that takes a toll on you.
You become lonely.
You have to keep community. You have to keep connections with people and keep that going with you. Contact with nature, I thought was interesting that she said.
Oh, yeah. Putting your feet into the ground is really good. Mm-hmm.
She also said emotional stability, having no worries, which, okay, that sounds good in theory.
Good on her.
Right? Also, she said having no regrets, which maybe at some point, okay, fine, but okay. And she said lots of positivity. I think at some point in your life, you can maybe have lots of positivity. And then the big one was she said, staying away from toxic people.
Well,
and
we're all out on that.
Well, that was the headline. So that was the big takeaway that all these outlets were pulling from.
Toxic people out of your life.
Edit the toxic people out of your life.
Where did she live?
She was actually born in Spain. They moved to San Francisco. Or maybe she was born in San Francisco, but then she now lives in Spain.
That helps.
Yeah.
I think that
so
lifestyle
too.
helps, right?
Yeah, and she's like in a home now, like where they care for her and stuff. But I just feel like the toxicness, and if you are able to control it or recognize it when there's toxic people around you and be able to edit that out of your life is very important, and know when to do it.
And you know who you're thinking about right now.
I think everyone does if you're listening.
All right. I'm going to put a list together. Start editing those people out. But I still want to have wine in my 90s. I mean, it's like...
Yeah, because
at that point, right?
Haven't you... I feel like we've read about older people, maybe not the oldest person in the world, 115.
Having a glass of wine a day.
Right, and they've said, I've had a glass of wine every day or whatever.
Some of them said they had a martini, I think.
Right. Older in their 90s, reached 100, and they're like, I drink every day. So whatever, for her, she hasn't, had
good list.
anything. But would you want to live into 115? I don't...
If I were in Spain, I think so.
Yeah.
Right?
115 if you feel good. I mean, she's obviously
if you feel
very
good
together.
She looks great. I mean, for 115.
Yeah. Well, what are you comparing it to?
I don't
114?
Not like
For
80.
115, right?
I don't know. I was like reading. I'm like, she's already like one of her. Okay.
No, sorry. Sorry.